Okay, we don't have one of the little waiting intro thingies. So that means that for about the first 1 or 2 minutes of the stream, um, I will just generally give some kind of introduction, but I'll give a special introduction to what we're doing this time, which is we're going to do a countdown of the top 20 dungeon mods, which is a mixture of my opinion and largely the opinion of fandom.com. They've got an article on the top 20 there. Of course, it's all subjective, all of these things are, and I'm going to be mixing in my opinion with theirs. So some of this is going to be familiar, most of it's not going to be familiar, because we've been working on mostly Hammett stuff and Ripex's stuff so far, and there's going to be one or two of Hammett's in here, but mostly it's going to be other dungeon mods. And at the end of the 20, because most of these I haven't played, we'll give a rundown of, I'll sort them into what I think are my best 5 from that lot, and I'll do a presentation on those, probably on Twitch, which will get posted to YouTube as well, and then we'll talk about them, and we'll talk about the modders and their work as a sort of like promotional aid. I mean, a lot of these mods are not that new, but it's generally which ones are considered to be the best, and some of the modders haven't been on to a Nexus for quite some time. You can see that some of them have been like visiting regularly, but some of them haven't been visiting that regularly, and you know, some of them haven't logged in for like 1 or 2 years or something like that. So depending on how things go, we'll contact them afterwards and let them look at the streams and see if they want to discuss them as well, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to start with the number 20, which is a mod by modder Ironman 5000 called Waking Nightmare, which is available on Nexus. Everything's available on Nexus. And I tested this one a little bit out today, and it's pretty darker than the kinds of things we're used to. In fact, some of these are like well dark, with regards to being kind of almost fucked up in a way, but that's good. That sort of takes Skyrim to another different bit. So we're prepared, we've got everything we need to get, and we're going to go straight to this location, which is a new location kind of south of Winterhold. I'm just going to check Sin's carry weight. Not like that, I'm going to. And she's 213, which is absolutely fine. So I think we can get down there. We don't need anything else from here at the moment. And yeah, I mean, we're going to see. The intention is, my original intention was to mix in some kind of other types of spell types as well, probably from like Conjuration or also from Illusion as well, but don't think we're going to be doing that so much, because really I'm going to be focusing on keeping her destruction high, keeping alteration high, and also keeping restoration high as well. So this is where we need to go. Mysterious shack, halfway between Riften and Winterhold. Sorry, Riften and Riften and Windhelm. Winterhold. That's not quite. And the easiest place to approach it is, I think I originally approached it from Kynes Grove beforehand. Yeah, all the way up there. But we found this location on the way, so we don't need to necessarily do that. Are we going to be met with resistance already? These are probably just hunters. Yeah, these are just standard hunters. Actually, I'm going to leave them alone. We don't need to do anything with them. And The shack is just straight away due south. And it sort of leads further down. Do we have to go up? Okay, we probably have to go up this little bit. Okay, we'll just follow the road. Now, you're going to have to excuse it if I'm not quite as vigorous as usual, though that's not necessarily a word I'd use to describe my presentation style, but due to a double dose of vaccinations on Friday, I've kind of been, it's kind of had a slightly soporific effect, so we'll just try and battle on as best we can. So this is where we start. Oh, we're about to be bed. But that's fine. Okay. It's more the sound of them more than anything else, which is the issue. So this is where we start out. This is like the portal to the whole thing. And there are 2 guidebooks here as well, which will give us an idea of what to do. We'll take a look. We'll take a look at the first one. It's a short. Let's take a quick flick through. Okay. He says it's part of a series of themes mods, and he says I plan to release them for Nexus, and I think that's really the operative term, planning to release them, because I think after this one, I might be wrong, but I think after this one nothing else happened. You know, it's easy to verify that, but I'm pretty much sure that nothing happened after this particular one. So, okay, fine. He's talking about Nexus. Recommended to leave companions behind. This is good. This is only a one individual thing, which is great because I don't really do followers anyway. It's tough. Okay, that's good. Save off on that's fine. I can almost guarantee you'll die at least once. Can almost guarantee you'll die at least once. Okay, we'll see. It's part of a series that aims to increase the presence of horror. Yeah, this is. I think that's going to be like a theme when we look at these 20 mods. It's going to be a mixture of sort of dark fantasy, which we're used to seeing in Hammett's dungeon packs, but also it's going to be horror, and this is definitely more on the horror side. This one, and some people think that. Skyrim isn't really about horror, and it's not. It's dark fantasy generally, but there's not a massive leap of faith from horror, from dark fantasy over to horror. This one centers around Vermina and the nightmarish realm of Quagmire. Okay, so we're going to get new creatures and clothing. Well, okay, fine. Yep. Different kinds of spells. Okay, this is feedback. Okay, we can endorse it if we like. Special thanks. Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, so that's generally about the different kinds of things we're gonna get. I'll take that, and also this is the important part here. We get a guide to the place and Dwemer Abyss trap target locations. I'm not actually sure what that's about, but that's fine. Now, when we say a walkthrough, we don't want for there to be too many spoilers. Yeah, we know that there is nothing to do with companions, and this is also one of these mods that once you get in to it, you can't get out of it until you've finished. So we open the valuables case, and that changes the realm, sort of Silent Hill style, until we decide to leave through the underpassage. I don't actually know if we need to take this. Looks like actually he's written a proper walkthrough of the whole thing, which is, I mean, obviously we're not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to take it with us. And the whole thing looks bigger than I expected. Obviously we're not going to read that. Right, Dwemer Abyss target locations. I'm not sure if this is actually something we can read as such. It certainly doesn't appear, but maybe it'll be something that's useful kind of later on. Oh, here it is. What happens if we click on it? Nothing. So it's just a general, if we can make it bigger. Well, that was fucked. I shouldn't have done that. High targets, low targets. Okay, this is obviously one of those things which is going to become way more apparent when we, as to what's going on when we get down there. So that's fine. So I presume we just begin. And in order to begin, we're going to open this case, and that'll sort of change realms for us, and we'll get through. Yeah, well, immediately we can see this has got kind of more horror element to it, and presumably we can't get out this door now. Or maybe this was the door. So it is a kind of, you know, Silent Hill thing about kind of changing realms. Let's give Xin a new outfit as well. Master Robes of Destruction. And that as well. I think we're pretty much all ready to go. Okay, well, we're gonna. Oh, long time no see, Nick. Nice to see you. How are you, my friend? Yeah, long time no see. Absolutely, it has been since Wednesday. I mean, you know, no stream yesterday. So it kind of feels like a long time. It's been 4 days anyway. 4 days according to Twitch, and I'm kind of doing the best I can do in the current situation. With regards to what we were talking about yesterday, so I'll see how we go. It feels like 7 p.m. here. It's 1. Yeah, has autumn taken hold now at all down there? It's really starting to now over here. I think we're going to well. I mean, it feels like we're pretty much fully into it now. Yeah, being the end of September. And I hope your ESO is going well as well. I still haven't bought this hard drive. It's starting, I feel, although it could be the full fake out, then another dry heat before real autumn. Yeah, I find it's kind of irritating when that happens. Like how you feel like it's going to start, and then it kind of goes up a bit again, and you're like, oh fuck, and then then it goes back down again. ESO is rad, having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I was actually really disappointed when I couldn't get it to work, because I had plenty of space for it. At least I thought I had plenty of space, and I freed up like, it must have been at least 110, 120 gigs for it, and then it still wanted more. And then I was reading up, and it said you need 89 for the game. Okay, fair enough, you need 89 for the game. And then it wants another, apparently, 80 gigs for potential updates. This is what I read anyway. And then another 15% of your hard drive space to run smoothly. I mean, it's a fucking monster. I mean, must be some of the Daedric gods demanding all that storage. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I'm very excited to get it going when I do eventually get it going, because I think it'll take my Elder Scrolls experience to a different level, not necessarily like a better level, because I don't think it's going to be better than Skyrim. I'm not expecting it to be better than Skyrim. I don't think that's going to happen. Gonna love it. It's rich with lore, LORE. Yeah, that's cool. Um, yeah, and I'll insert my own lore into it as well, because I've learned quite little bit about Skyrim at this point in time. But I know nothing about the ESO world. One of the DLCs goes back to Skyrim. Or does it really? So this is when you say back to Skyrim, we're talking about kind of back to Skyrim before the fourth era. Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about, isn't it? That's what we mean. Back to Skyrim before the fourth era. Um, which is cool. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Um, so yeah, that's awesome. And that's very interesting, and that makes kind of sense because I was looking into the lore of how I would do it. Um, it would be with regards to the Red Guards, um, and definitely sort of Zell's heritage line, which could go some way to explaining, how she ends up A in Skyrim and B finds herself as Dragonborn. I did write a little bit of a backstory, but it felt a little bit kind of gesture. So I have to think about that. There are a lot of ruins in Skyrim. Oh, really? So you've been to Skyrim? You've been to Skyrim already? In ESO, right? Um, it'd be cool to see them before they were ruined. Right, I meant ruins in the Skyrim. Right. So this is before then. Right, okay. Yeah, that sounds very cool. Um, is it all of Tamriel? So can you go to Hammerfell as well? That would be a great place for me to start. And is there like a quest line, or is it just open world and you just do your own thing, like sort of Minecraft? Most of Tamriel, okay. Um, so I'll look into that. Well, if you saw Hammerfell, that would be extra awesome, because that would be a good place for me to start my lore storyline. Home Lysander downloads. Sorry, I'm just installing the new version of Discord. DPKGI Discord 000. Is that going to work for me? Yeah, it is going to work for me. Discord. Okay. We can go to the Alaka Desert. Does this mean that you and I can both have our characters in the same place / stream simultaneously? Does it mean we can do that? Well, that's pretty fucking cool. I think that is very cool. I'm gonna buy that hard drive tonight. But you know what's a real pain in the ass? It means I've got to reinstall the operating system, which in itself isn't like so much of a pain in the ass. It's more to do with the fact that I have to like reset up things like OBS and all the little things that you do when you like get a new computer, so to speak. But I mean, all you really need to do when you need to get a new computer, what I need to do is get a browser working, get Spotify working. As far as I'm concerned, those are the most important things, and then everything else is secondary. Have to re-download Skyrim, have to download ESO, but I've got a pretty fast connection, so I'm not really worried about it so much. I came across a quest I couldn't finish because of my low level. That's good. Kind of mixtures of Skyrim and Dragon Age. Yeah, Dragon Age, I remember playing that quite some time ago. But I didn't get like that far into it. But nothing really. Would you say that? I mean, really, for me, it's about the feel and the aesthetic. That's the main thing. Would you say that there's like a similar aesthetic, but if you compare Skyrim to ESO? Because there really wasn't a similar aesthetic between Skyrim and Oblivion. Not at all. You have special abilities that are quick, set on 1 to 5, and you can tap to use it. Oh yeah, it's done slightly differently, isn't it? But you still level up your character, don't you? Quick set. Yeah, and there's like one of 3, not clans, but 1 or 3 groups or something you can join. I'm not actually sure. I think it's similar enough. I'm really enjoying it. I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm pleased, and I'm pleased because you've got experience of Skyrim as well. Quite a lot of experience of Skyrim. But in my case, God, her torches are just going to run out a lot. Hold on. Let's just get her down to somewhere with a bit more light. As I was explaining earlier in the stream, I mean, a lot of these mods in this 20 are kind of fall into the horror category. So it is going to be kind of a bit darker. I don't want to spam torchlight too much for atmosphere's sake and stuff. Just weird in Vardenfell, finally out of the cold place. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like, also Hammerfell's going to be hot. Elsewhere, if it's there, is going to be kind of like lush and jungly, if that's the right word. But I mean, like, you know, you've got plenty of experience of Skyrim, but I'm not expecting it to be as good as Skyrim. I'm expecting it to be different, and for me not to like it as much. So I think I'm expecting Skyrim to be there and ESO to be kind of there, but still definitely workable, I think. As far as the thing and the Black Masters thing, yeah, I know. Apparently we can go to Solitude and the Rift and around Windhelm. So actually into Solitude, right? Like into the city itself, just as you would do, but it's like however many 100 years ago that it was beforehand, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. So, alright. So yeah, I'll order the drive tonight. It'll arrive tomorrow, but I probably actually won't set the whole damn thing up for like another 1 or 2 weeks. If it was just a matter of downloading it and installing it, we'd already be there. In fact, I probably would have done it today. Or yesterday. Actually, it definitely would have been yesterday, but maybe today. But that's not going to happen until I can reconfigure the whole system. And the other thing is I've got another 3 internal hard drives, so we'll see. Give me time to become a master so I can teach you. Oh, you're going to be way, way, way there. I mean, way, way there before I am. I mean, you're going to get up, skyrocket in the levels before my character is going to. I mean, don't know what her name's going to be yet. All I know is that she's going to be a red guard, and I don't know what her build is either. Actually, having said that, I do have an idea. It probably won't involve magic. The reason being that Zell was more progressive. She's very progressive for a red guard. You know, she uses magic. She's lesbian. She's married to a Nord woman. You know, these are very progressive things for a red guard. Not unheard of, but, you know, it's more the kind of thing that would happen in the 4th era. And ESO is set in what? Newer Paper. Hey, Newer Paper, how are you? Good evening. How are things going for you? We're having a bit of a chat at the moment before we set off in this sort of kind of horror-esque mod. Just having a chat about ESO in general. But how are you doing? Whereabouts are you in the world? I'm in London here, as you may be able to deduce. Well, UK from my accent anyway. Yeah, like, you know, where is ESO set time-wise? That's what I'm wondering. As a red card, I can indeed infer that women are a foreign concept out here in Hammerfell. Well, I mean, when you say that women are a foreign concept, do you mean women warriors? I would not imagine it be women warriors. but like a woman marrying a woman in Hammerfell, especially in the time that ESO is set on. I mean, that's probably a lot less likely. Just as unlikely. Okay, so it's in the middle of the second era. Yeah. So really, we're going to be looking at a far more kind of traditional form of operation. I just connected intro, you saying something on the lines, thought it was funny to run with it. Anyways, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing, or what I'm attempting to do anyway, is to draw a comparison between what would be a progressive Red Guardian outlook in the Fourth Era in comparison to a more traditional outlook and culture-based adherence in the Second Era. And because Mr. Tunick and I are discussing about how our characters would exist in ESO concurrently, I was drawing a comparison between my Skyrim Redguard, who's a pretty progressive girl, and my ESO Redguard, who would be much more traditional. I think Redguards would be forced to be progressive. I would agree with that, absolutely. Definitely, due to war in ESO, it would be a lot different. So, yeah, because I know that there. I mean, you'd probably know a little bit more than this, and my knowledge of Redguard lore is not that hot. So, if you know more than me, please say so. This can be demonstrable right now, because I know that there is a heavy war at some point. For some reason, I keep fat fingering the enter key. Fuck, no problem. I know that there's like a heavy war at some point between. I don't know if it takes place in Hammerfell. Between the. I know a lot about red card culture. We'll see. Okay, well we can discuss it definitely. Between the Red Guards and during our ESO. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the same one I'm referring to. Myself, I'm getting myself in hot water now, but there was a point in time where the Red Guards found themselves in battling a shitload of mages, I think, and it got to the point where they realized, I suppose, that it was beneficial in some ways to adopt some of these ways, or they're going to get wiped out. I'd have to look at the law on that. But I think what newer paper's saying is that when they're forced to being progressive, what you get a lot of the time is you get a culture which sort of is seeped in traditional values and ways, but unless it progresses, then it risks irrelevance or it risks defeat at the same time. Right, Redguards came from Akavir, and a lot were training to be sword singers. Right, this is kind of where I was going. Yeah. I can see them being inviting based on potential and not on gender. Also correct. Yes. I mean, this is going to be very interesting when we get into ASO on this channel, which probably will be some time in October, as long as everything goes to plan. But as far as I can tell, it's the Red Guards really operated on prowess. Gender or sex anyway was pretty much irrelevant. It was just to do with ability. And so I think that would be the case, especially the sword singer thing, because Zell, who is my Skyrim character, not this character, she's my mage, but Zell, who is my Red Guard, her name, the name Zell, is, I think the name is related to one of the sword singers. If you look up the history of that name, it comes from a book on it. Sword singers were mad powerful, I'm just going to say that. Well, okay. Let's look it up while we're here, because that will answer something of the question. So, you know what's actually funny about this? which I've just kind of found out, and Nick will find this particularly funny, is that the name Zell comes from ESO. Okay? But because ESO is before Skyrim, of course the name can carry forward to Skyrim, no problem in the timeline, right? And the name comes from a book called The Memory Stone of Michaela Lakey. Okay, I'm just going to read this out because it definitely a league above your average military. Right, absolutely. They were also setting temples around the place. Now here's an idea. Okay, go for it. I was going to read out this paragraph from the book. But presumably the sword singers were... Yeah. I'm just going to read this paragraph. This is Michaela Lakey speaking, who is... Okay, she's just down as an authoress, generally. A group of sword singers accidentally activating the Elder Scrolls, sending them into the future. Interesting! A group is in 4 to 5 units. That is an interesting concept, isn't it? That is an interesting concept. I mean, that's not where I was going with my lore. It's interesting because we can all have personal lore. But I just wanted to read this paragraph because you reminded me of it. Newspaper, which says, this is Michaela Lakey. I'm a simple warrior. I grew up as a maiden of the spirit blade. As early as I can remember, I wanted to be a singer. To feel the hunger of the blade in my hands. To feel it come alive and take my enemies. I am told our people were artisans and poets long ago in our desert homes. Here in the new home known as Hammerfell, many of us have returned to those ancient ways. But to me, there is one way, the way of the sword. I don't... Just freaking out about for a while as they get used to the new times, their whole story being to find their way back to their time. Yeah, that would be interesting. And presumably, you know, having to... I wonder if they'd have to adapt to anything magic related, you know. I don't know. I entered the hall of the virtues of war and joined the maidens of the spirit sword. In my band there were 6 of us. Daring Julia, solid Partia, big Katie, svelte Celia, wise Zell, and me. All are gone now, save me, and I will soon join them. Join them in the halls of the unknown gods of war. So this is long time before ESO. And I think you're right, in as much as, you know, they'd have to be forced to be progressive. You know, I think you know, you adapt magic ways and then you grow in strength. Okay, let's. Greymore is a DSL for Skyrim. Oh, is it really? So presumably, if Greymore is the DLC for Skyrim, it uses the same specs, right? I'm really worried about it. I'm not so worried about the specs so much. I'm not worried about it so much. What is this? Decaying Flesh Walker. Okay. They would definitely be hit hard by knowing that their faction is extinct in the future. Hell, they might even see their ways and try to re-establish their faction in the future. Definitely be a shock to the system, wouldn't it? That's pretty disgusting. Let me just... Okay, we don't need to do that. Yeah, they would. And exactly how they would adapt, that's the thing. Well, Zell adapted. She adapted by you know, it actually makes sense how she started off as a barbarian / skirmisher with axe and shield, and then ended up as a spell sword. Makes perfect sense to me. Complete fusing of the old ways and the new, you know. Oh, Fet's here. Fet, how are you doing? I was wondering if we're going to see you. Welcome. Good evening to this kind of horrific mod. One of probably quite a few horrific mods, you know. On Steam for $59.99 you can get the... that's a sale jobby, Nick. Fuck me. $59.99? Dunno. $59.99. Blackwood, Greymore, Elsewhere, Somerset and Morrowind. So what's the SO then? Which bit is the SO? Because they bolted on a lot more, didn't they? I wonder if they would join the Hammerfell side of the war. Because the Thalmor would definitely see them as a threat and try dispatching them. They would. I fucking hate the Thalmor. Fet, how are you doing tonight? How are things up there? Up there in Scotland. This is the key to get into that bit, obviously. I don't know why we use this torch, but I have to keep unequipping it. Actually, should we just do it without and see what happens? Just see exactly how dark this is. You're tired. You and me. You fucking hell. You and me both, Fet. I mean, I was feeling like absolute dog shit, as you know. Because I kept talking about it in the Discord. I felt fucking bad yesterday. Like, properly tired. Are you tired or are you exhausted? Like, to what level? Oh, fuck! John's raided! John! My friend, nice to see you. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you very much. Jono to the Bono. This is Jono under his new guise, Mage Light. Thank you very much, Newer Paper. Thanks for the suggestion. Excellent. We can see what we're doing more. I was being lazy. Beforehand. Invasion. We've been invaded. We've been gangbanged by Jono's party. Could be worse, you know. That's fine. I don't mind. I don't even have to pay for it. So that's absolutely fine. Without permission as well. It wasn't. It was more like a gang rape, I think. So exactly, why not? Yeah, but thank you very much, John. And how was your stream? How did you bolt from Far Cry? Did you think, fuck that, I've had enough of that now? Trippy Mez Players, hey, how are you? Good evening. It's good evening for me anyway. I mean, I'm in UK, so I'm assuming that everyone's from the UK, which just obviously isn't true. There's a new Super Deluxe serve, Roger the Engineer, so that's kept me going. Just tight in general. Anything responsible for that, do you think? I know what it was with me, fucking double vaccination. John, don't get double vaccinated. Hear from Jono. Yeah, I know. It's very good. Really, really glad that you came along, but I'm presuming that you're in the UK. Trippy, are you? Are you not? Whereabouts are you? Now, what challenges could a sword singer face in the times of Skyrim, I wonder? Yes. That is a good question. That is a good question indeed. Need to make some food. See in a second. We'll lurk the time back. Okay. All right, John. What are you making? What are you making? I want to know. Trippy baby. It was too buggy. This is Far Cry 2. When was Far Cry 2 released? You know? They're agile and they're deadly. Well, the singers are. Absolutely. Though, I mean, you see, the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is, and this is the thing about if you are a player sort of more barbarian / skirmisher character, is the fact that you are always going to be slightly better than a mage. Sorry, I think you will. I think you're always going to be slightly better than a mage. If you're leveled up, I think you have a level 50 mage and a level 50 skirmisher or a level 50 barbarian. I think your skirmisher is going to win it. Because a mage specializes in ranged combat. You know? Paralyze. That's the issue. Paralyze. You're a London boy. Good for you. Could we talk about areas of London? Are you going to be comfortable talking about areas of London? Because I can do it. I can talk about areas. I don't mind. Do you want me to go first? You probably want me to go first. Okay. I'll say that I'm near Bermondsey. That's where I am. I thought about coming to the stream, and that bored me. Thanks. Cool. Even in my tired stroke, my wits never fail me. Fair. I'm really glad that, you know, on this channel we can evoke a myriad of different responses from you emotionally. If boredom is one of them, then, you know, that's absolutely fine, because, you know, we can experience all kinds of things day to day. But I'm glad you turned up. That's quite amusing. They would definitely camp down at Skyhaven. Where is Skyhaven? Not sure where Skyhaven is. You can say all stuff about fighting mages, but if you have any kind of warding, either with a scroll or with any items, they're good for nothing. Even a warrior can use fancy roll of magic go away. Yes, okay, I mean, maybe I'm coming from a position of slightly less experience because my character doesn't use wards. Having said that, I mean, wards are not... I felt like jumping off the pier after about 5 minutes of the stream. Look, if I could do it, you know, myself, that, you know, I'd do it as well. But, you know, I've started the stream, so I've got to continue. What can I do? You know, we're only 45 minutes into it. So, I mean, maybe you can do it for both of us. You know, that's fine. Yeah, so it's you know, I'm not so sort of sure about I'm not so sure about wards. I've tried to practice wards, but like a ward is still only like so powerful, you know. That's the thing. And I'm not sure like how far a ward would go up against somebody who's like using raids with a one-man party. Well, thanks for your raid, Pellock. That's a fantastic raid. One man. It still counts as a raid. I think so. Hang on, let me just get rid of these things. Your stream is just some random bald git flexing his beautiful beard. That's basically what happens. I mean, there's very little else to it. That's you know, that's as far as we go. If there was no beard, there'd be no stream. You know, what can I say? Spellbreaker is definitely the most useful one. Yeah, I don't know if we've even got Spellbreaker. I think we did get it. Yeah, I definitely did get it. I got it quite early on, but it's not something that she had used necessarily. I'm here to ravish and pillage. Lock up your daughters, Stannis too. Yeah, just lock up everyone. You know, why not? You could weigh 50 stone and you'd still have the ladies fainting with that beard. Are you saying that I'm like a one-trick pony, Fet? Is that what you're saying? That it's all about the beard. It's all beard and no substance. I think that's what you're saying. 69. Oh yeah, Nick, you sexy guy. Cheering 69 bits. That's what we like. Okay, imagine some very confused. We haven't got very far into this dungeon at all. And according to the guide, this is a long dungeon as well. A long one. Okay, imagine some very confused... oh, fuck. These are all... This is... Sorry, hold on a sec. It's all a bit sort of Silent Hilly, this. Fuck off, Flesh Wolf. Imagine some very confused adventurer finding a shield and going like, yes, weapon. Well, yeah, I suppose. What, like in a sort of Stanley Kubrick sort of 2001 bone cut kind of way. Just bashing people's heads in like a madman. Well, this is one of the reasons why Spell Shield I find to be such a aggressive build. It's not really a build that we could use in ESO. But it's because really you're just bashing people with a shield the whole time. You're using it for defense, and you're just setting them on fire or electrocuting them to death with your left hand. It's fucking aggressive. It's arguably more aggressive than being a skirmisher, I'd say. You're a two-trick pony. You've also got a dying need to always use correct grammar. Fet, are you down on your iron brew tonight? Is that what it is? When women hear about that, they basically just fall for you. Yeah, well, I think it's important. You know, it's important to be able to use, you know, correct verbiage as well. What can I say? I'm a traditionalist in that sense. I'm here for this Poch accent. Yeah, well, I mean, I could put on another one. Wouldn't kind of work, unfortunately. If I went for like a Cockney accent or something, that'd be rubbish. Oh, no spell shields, only shields. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, fucking geek. All right, okay. I think you need. I think we're needing some more kind of iron brew maybe in that side. Captain America roided up on horse steroids. Fet needs some sugar. I think you do, Fet. I think you need. I'm out of iron brew. How can you be out of iron brew? I thought you had like a fridge worth of iron brew or something. That's what I thought. If you go any more British accent, you'll summon the Queen as a raid boss. The shop is shut. I think it's going to be kind of difficult to like get anything. Then is it because you're quite far out, aren't you? So it's quite hard. It's not like you can't use like gorillas or something to deliver it. I think where you are. You don't need some when you have our Iron Bro here flexing his beard, exactly. It's all flex. All flex, no substance. That's what it is. Right, I'm not sure I have to drink tea, bloody joke. I'll tell you something, Fet. I'll tell you something. It's like, if I don't have what I want, it does put me in a bit of a fucking pissy mood. Blood Witch, and no mistake. Like seriously, it puts me in a pissy mood. Blood Witch. There was another one, right? Let me just get rid of this lot. There are quite a few things here. Flesh Walker uses a Draugr cry? Really? Not sure what I think about that. Unless hydrate. Okay, here's the... Oh, for fuck's sake, hold on. This archer came from what? Right behind her? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do the hydrate now. With water, not anything else. Do you pump iron, boss? You look like you have the shoulders for it. On and off. I've fallen into a gulf at the moment, attempting to get back on it. But I'm doing a lot of running at the moment. So doing the running plus doing the resistance, even if it's just body weight resistance, is kind of tough. Just to work both into my schedule, it's definitely doable. But I'd have to like live a military regime, which, like I say, it is possible, but kind of hard. I need some music to calm me down. Put on your favourite smooth jazz. I mean, I'm not altogether kind of discounting the ability for me to appreciate smooth jazz, and I'm definitely not. It's not like I have anything against jazz in general. I mean, we've discussed on the stream before people like Max Roach and Charles Mingus and Duke Ellington. But sort of smooth jazz, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. It'd be hard. Good old-fashioned bodyweight exercises are the best. Well, they were good enough for Charles Bronson. That's for goddamn sure. He got fucking ripped on bodyweight exercises. I'm putting on the monkeys. The monkeys. I used to like the monkeys when I was a kid. Because they had that, they had a TV show, didn't they? I think if you're a kid, the Monkeys TV show is especially something. Oh my god, like, they've even, like, sort of a vampirish hawker. That's quite funny. Okay. This is a bit of the lore here, because I think Vermina is the cult. The monkey's got a bad rep for the TV show. I loved the TV show. Absolutely loved it when I was a kid. It was played quite a lot here. As you may well remember. Hang on. Oh my god, this thing's in the water. Can we get out? Okay. Deathly slaughterfish. Okay. Which is above ground. They were perceived as a joke. I think what they were doing... What the fuck is this? Deathly slaughterfish mother. Okay. Let's just... Caged victim. There's a lot of... Hang on. There are a lot of slaughterfish in the water there, which is causing all the red dots, really. That's the issue. Vampire slug mother. Yeah, you say they were perceived as a joke. I can understand exactly why they were perceived as that. But I think more than anything, I mean, even though as a kid when I was watching it, I thought that it was more like a send-up of the industry standard and a send-up of themselves. I didn't think that the monkeys were like a serious group at any point in time. I mean, the clue's in the name, right? They even made a song about that. So I don't think you can really kind of criticize people who are sending themselves up if they're doing it intentionally. They were made as a Beatles parody act, but then they started writing really good stuff and wanted free of all that TV crap. Such a shame. Yeah, I mean, that does happen when you have acts that kind of end up on the coattails of Vermina Follower, on the coattails of other bands. How do we get through here? Hang on a sec. Oh, we go through this way. It takes us to the next cell. Yeah, I think they did write really good stuff. What the fuck is this? Vermina Evoker. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't... Daedic Crescent Blade. That's a beautiful thing. They never broke free of that kids show thing. Was it for kids? Was it actually for kids, the show? I wasn't... Fucking hell, look at this thing. Oh, this is not something that... God. Okay. That I've seen before, but it is a mod. No, I'm pissed about the monkeys. God damn it, Fett. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? No, Iron Brew. I mean, what's the alternative? You don't have any backup in the house. Got any Dr. Pepper? Anything like that? No, but kids did watch it, like me. Like me. I'm just gonna refer to the guide. Hold on a second. I'm not gonna read out the guide. But I am going to quickly look at it. Point of no return, yeah, we've done that. The underpassage, yeah, we've done that. Yeah, we got the key. We're not really interested in the weapons as such. Water in the door, the pit. Okay... Actually under the water through a hole. If you choose to go through the upper door, you'll return to the shack The case in the corner has a few valuables left in it, and in case it's locked, you won't exit to back, then go through the water and use the door. Get me iron brew, you bald prick. Well, just for that, no. Is this going to take us back? Yeah, this takes us back to the underpassage. Yeah, go make some tea. What are you going to do? Shop is closed here too. I bench pressed 120 kilograms, 4 sets, 12 reps, showered, oiled up my own beard. I need some beer. Well, do you get more masculine than that? I'm just assuming your gender though, right? Could be a girl. Okay, I think, yeah, the door is underwater, as he said. Okay. There's some trapped. This is quite nice. This is a nice little touch. And there are loads of these. Fuck off! Everyone's being productive, and I've sat on my arse all day. Fet. I haven't been productive this weekend. You know that. I haven't. I've done. Yesterday I spent the day in bed. I'm fucking fat. Do you mean like bear mode or what? Yeah, I spent the day in bed apart from yesterday evening when I went out to that foodie thing that I told you about. And I haven't done anything today either. But I mean, I've got something of an excuse. What's your excuse? Fat dude, I sit my ass generally. I do. Well, it's important to have goals. Is that a goal? I don't know. Just do you. Bear? No, not enough chest hair. Oh, okay. I think this mod is something of a kind of like Daedric spider. At the moment, I think it's something of like a sort of linear journey through a kind of horror realm. That's what I can see so far. Through for a load of Daedric followers who have created all these sort of other versions of enemies. I'm not skinny, I'm not super fat or anything. So you're in the middle, are you kind of like mesomorphic, as the expression is. Do I have to unlock this door? And the question I've got for you, Fet, is how come you ended up running out of Iron Brew? Because if it were me, it would be like my sole priority, especially on a Sunday. That's the thing. I'm kind of spoiled because, you know, living in London where I do, it's like pretty easy to get things at most times of the day. Like even, and this will piss you off, Fet, but even on a Sunday at this time, up until about 1 o'clock I could go down the shops. And these are kind of things that you forget when you don't live in like a major city. You sort of have to time things a little bit more around when shops shut or when shops open and stuff. I drank it. I have 4 cans already. Oh, I see. I see. God, look at all these enemies. Look at them all. That's a fuckload, isn't it? You can make your own. Okay. Pellec's giving you an idea there, Fet, about how you can make your own Iron Brew. Or make a kind of equivalent. I'm kind of surprised. What the fuck is this? Werewolf Slaughterer. How tough is this going to be? Not that tough. But there are an awful lot of sort of mini enemies here. I can't be asked. Watching the stream has taken all the life out of me. Yeah, it'll do that to you. It'll sap whatever will to live you have left. It's doing that to me, but you know, I've got to carry on. What can I do? Yeah, I wonder what a kind of effective Iron Brew backup would be. Tea, and what kind of tea? It makes your heart beat too. I hope it's in a good way. So I wonder what people's thoughts are on this mod so far. I'm kind of liking it. It's a little, you know, I'm not too sure about it yet. I'm not too sure about you know, whether it will earn a place in the top 5 yet. Currently, I'm saying no, it won't. But let's see. It may have some massive surprises in store. So we came down this way. Since playing Blood, I've been scared of in-game piders. I think it's kind of hard to make. I think it's hard to make in-game spiders that scary. Just because it's a bit of a cliche for me. But I can definitely say where you're coming from. But Blood was a good game. Blood was definitely a good game. Very, very gothic. And this is definitely gothic, though it's kind of like more gothic horror. I'm convinced the only reason you stream is because your wife is happy you finally found a fun hobby. Well, they're actually just making you sadder and sadder each stream. Fet, is this you? Is this you on non Iron Brew mode? I think we need to get you a crate. I think we need to get you a crate of Iron Brew up there, sharpish. I think I think it'll be good. Talking about hydrate, I'm going to do it. I need to find out exactly the pit depths. Okay. Need to read about just having normal tea. Yeah. What, like PG tips or like Taifu or something like that. Your wife loves you so much. Neighbour loves me. I love you, Fet. There you go. You got one person. That's what you got. I'm sure Nick loves you as well. Oh, there you go. Gay. Well, I mean, you know, you can fuck off. You're not easy to please. Okay. I suppose what you want, what you want is like you need like an attractive girl. I don't know if you've got a partner. We haven't spoken about this before, but if you don't, then you know, need that. Or get an anime pillow. Why not? Pellet loves you as well. There you go. Okay, I just need to read what happens now. The Dwemer Abyss is where we want to get to. Oh, there's a key that we need. And jump to the door, which is locked, but the key can be found if you jump across the other side and through the door to the right, which is fire trap. Through the door. I think we just have to carry on going down, right? long swinging. I'm going to go back up to the bit up here. Why would anyone need a wife when they have a life? Well, that is a good question. Well, you know, people get married for all kinds of reasons, don't they? I'm a single man. Watch out, ladies. But not you, Lysander. I'm not into that, even if you love me. Oh, come on, Fett. How do you know if you haven't tried it? How do you know if you haven't tried male love? Okay, this is only one way to go so far, and I think the only way is to go. Should we just fucking put this thing out of its misery? There you go. I got dumped 2 weeks ago by my girlfriend, but you're not interested, I suppose. I suppose Fett's not interested. Right. I'm getting slightly disorientated. I'm going to go down the right path. The right-hand path. And the right-hand path... I think this goes round in a circle, doesn't it? Right, this is the chest we had to loot. Okay, so we know about this. Even though I didn't loot it. Maybe I should loot it. There might be like some kind of key or something in there. I'm glad you took the first step. Well, everyone's a winner then. Right. And this takes us... Okay, we've been down here as well. One day I want a bloke to come tell me they dumped a girl. Have you never heard that before, Fett? It does happen. Done it myself a few times. Well, there you go. You've been told. But I'm talking the past tense. Obviously, you know. Oh, here we go. And it's just as well... Dumped plenty in my youth, yeah. It's just as well that we had the light on so that we can get past these traps. This guy has put an awful lot of enemies into one place in time, and one place at once. Why would anyone leave that beautiful bit? Fett wasn't always there. In fact, it's a relatively recent addition as well. And when I say relatively recent, I mean God, I started growing it like 5 years ago, but it was different. It was only in its current form, shape, whatever, since about... Oh, actually, no, that's not true. It's probably been like this for about 3 or 4 years, I think. Something like that. Is your wife into beards? Yes. To answer your question, Pellet. Recent addition to what? Your sex arsenal. Look, you can never have too many... You can... Whoa, look at this. You can never have too many additions to your sex arsenal. I'm going to save. Haven't actually saved once. Well, you can't, can you? You know, whatever works. You know? Okay. Now, it looks to me like we're going to be set upon. Yeah. I wonder if this is going to turn into something of a review of these mods. I think doing such a thing is inevitable, really. and I'll be kind of constructively critical about them as well, because if we're going to have like a top 5 at the end, then you know, why not? This hydrant thing is very Prince of Persia. Drink up if you want to survive. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do it as a needs mod as well in game. But it's good. You see, the thing is that people don't really use the channel points that much. I think, you know, with any channel, they only use like, you know, like two of the channel point things, or like maybe 3 of the channel point things. Anyone that gets the reference, I'll marry them. Well, you know, I think you need to cast your net a bit wider than this stream palette, but it's a good place to start. 2 things piss me off about music: the Monkees and Michael Jackson. I fucking hate Michael Jackson. Go on, let's discuss Michael Jackson. And what's your issue with MJ Fett? Here we go. That's a dragon priest. Oh, blood priest. Sorry, I didn't have the lingo correct. Oh well, the blood priest is relatively. I'm not sure about the design, because he's given us a little doorway and we can just go through the doorway. Is that it? No, blood priest is still around. Blood priest is on. I don't know how many points blood priest is on. But presumably he's got like something we want. Search blood priest. You get health when you drink a potion? Yeah. I mean, we can't actually search the blood priest. That functionality is not working unless we were not actually supposed to search the blood priest, and there wasn't supposed to be anything there. Yeah, I mean, you get health when you drink a potion. You get all kinds of things when you drink a potion. You know. Oh, like what? That kind of thing. Gotcha. Sorry. Yup. But yeah, I mean, you know, Fett, like, you play Skyrim yourself, don't you? So, you know, health, magicka, stamina, all kinds of shit. He was a pedo. He was a pedophile, yeah. He was a genius, but he was a pedo, so can't process it properly. Well, I mean, you know, there's a... I think it's important to... You know, it's the age-old argument of separating the art from the artist, you know. There are all kinds of artists who have... And I'm not talking about musical artists as well. Is this a master lock? Who have done all kinds of weird shit in their times. But it's just about psychologically whether you're able to make the sort of separate the two. Some people can, some people can't. That's it, really. I mean, he was definitely a genius, but he was also a very, very pushed genius by his dad, you know, who had an immense influence on getting him to where he was. And, you know, screwed him up a lot in the process. I think that a lot of people in you know, that's the question, you know. That's really the question, you know, how many people in certain situations would not have done what other people would have done. I mean, I'm not condoning that kind of behavior. But you're looking at a whole gaggle of influences. I don't like his music. Charles Bukowski springs to mind. Yeah, I mean, I like some of his music. This lock is pissing me off. I like some of his music, like specifically some of the Dangerous album is pretty good. Mostly the Dangerous album, to be honest. That's all well and good, but when I hear bad, I think it's M Day touching some 8-year-old. Really, that's quite interesting. So when you hear that album, that's the first thing you think of. It's quite interesting. It's different for me. I suppose it depends, you know, what the frame of reference is, because my mum used to play Michael Jackson a lot in our house, and I didn't actually know about the kind of pedo thing till later on, like way later on. So that's probably why I don't think about that. He was a gay elementary school kid trapped in the body of an adult. Probably his dad fucked him up. I mean, it's, you know, undoubtable as far as I'm concerned that his dad was the reason for A, his genius, and B, his despair. You know, it's so shameful that so often the two of those things go together, you know. Still a pedo, yeah. Still a pedo, exactly. Elvis was a pedo as well? I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, there more evokers. Oh, this guy's a bit high. Oh no, he's not. I want this nice purple robe thingy. But you can get those anyway from the Twilight Temple or whatever it's called in Dawnstar. Yeah, R. Kelly. I don't actually know the R. Kelly story that well. Didn't he like film himself having sex with somebody who was underage or something? I'm not really sure. I don't know the story that well. Okay. I think these red tapestries are... I think these red tapestries are like the Vermina, the Shroud of Vermina or something. Bill Wyman's Stones bassist fell in love with a 13-year-old, so they kicked him out. Yeah, yep, a 14-year-old. God, it's so. Yeah, it's so weird, the whole thing. I mean, the first person that sprung to my mind. Do I have to go down here? I think we do have to go down here. I think we do have to go here. Is this the shrine? I think this is the shrine that... Wow, Ripex is here! Hey Ripex, good to see you. Good evening, and how are you doing? I wanted to talk to you actually. Talking about penis. Oh, before we right, Ripex. Before we continue, right, in this dungeon, let me just tell you that Fett isn't in the best of moods tonight because he's run out of Iron Brew, which I wish I was joking about, but it's true. So, like, unfortunately, we can't do anything about getting him some Iron Brew. Fuck you all. You see, this is how he feels, and it's healthy that he's taking it out on stream. You know, it's good. I mean, I've been at the receiving end of it as well. Just free floating anger, you know. Doing good. My wife decided I hate you. My wife decided she had to run to Walmart, so I'm on here for probably at least an hour. Good news. But I'm going to jump in the shower. I'm going to lurk for about 10 minutes while I do that. You do that. All I see are a bunch of asterisks. Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of interesting that it kind of blocks it out on your side. Is that true of everyone else? Fett, can you confirm that the expletives are actually displayed on your screen? Can you confirm that, please? Why the hell does everyone have a wife? Happy wife, happy life. She came with 2 houses. What, she ejaculates property. That worked in my mind as a joke. Sorry. Yeah. 2 houses. Fucking hell, man. That is good. These 2 houses, are they like far apart from each other, or are they close to each other? That'd be a hell of a double penetration, wouldn't it? Absolutely. I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go down this hole for want of a better sexual innuendo, but I think we're going to have to go down it. One's the main house and one is a lake house. Well, you're in America, you know, there's got to be a lake house. I'm getting in the shower. Okay, that's cool. Search desecrated corpse. Anything useful? 20 gold? Can't say no to 20 gold, can we? And just another dead person. The pit depths. Oh shit, hang on. Let's get her out the water. Lather up well. There's a lot of innuendos in this stream. I think what I'm going to do is, you know, when I finish each of these dungeons, is make a decision as to whether they will go in the top 5. And woohoo! There's a lot of shit going on here. Hold on a sec. Okay, but we're used to like a really high standard. That's the thing, because we've had like whoops, hold on, because we've had Hammett's dungeons all the time. We're used to a really high standard of things. Requires key. Well, that's absolutely fine. Oh, that's a nice touch, isn't it? This mod is getting cooler. Oh, you think so? What, you like how it's going now, do you? I'll make myself a cocktail and lean back and watch. 3 parts gin, 1 part iron brew. Cocktail sounds kind of nice, actually. The way that you described it. Oh, fuck! Okay. So, I was really worried, fuck you. Look, Pelix just doing it to piss you off, Fet. Just doing it to piss you off. Search Draugr. Anytime, anywhere, man. That's an Aliens reference, if ever I heard one. Display case adept. Is the... We have to... Oh, fuck, that's creepy. I'm going to see if we have to... Oh, this is the key. Oh, it's good that he's made it obvious. Pit Depths Gate key. Cool. This is got... You know... Oh, shit, he awoke. Oh, that's a nice touch. That's a nice touch. I'll give it that. That was a nice touch. That was good. It's your favourite movie. What's your favourite quote? Look, there's an apple pie. I want to make apple pie on Thanksgiving. But it's got to be pumpkin pie, not apple pie. Flesh Gatekeeper, Daedric Crescent Blade. Well, we already had that, didn't we? Yeah, it was a nice touch, to be honest, wasn't it? I liked that. It was good. Her fire resistance is pretty high. So, hang on. Let's just wait for this fire trap to extinguish. It's a Dwemer head. Okay, let's go. I mean, to be honest, we didn't have to get that key. We could have just, like, cheated and unlocked the door. But A, I don't like cheating, and B, that was a nice little bit. Actually, let's not do it with the... Yes, Fet, I have no iron brew, or gin. I don't have money nowadays. Oh, that's a shame. Why not? Hard times. But do you have petrol? Because apparently nobody's got petrol, and now people are panic buying petrol. I'm not gonna light this place up. I'm just gonna do it in darkness, just for like extra atmosphere. Oh, now it's gone Dwemer. Beer does not get you any ladies if you have no money. Oh, that's... I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think that Shade Mage... Well, why didn't you just fucking die? Hang on a sec. How many fucking... Anyway, let me just watch relax. Yeah, okay, cool. But how many points of health does this Shade Mage thingy have? Oh, not that many. It was just in a funny position. Oh, and it's reanimated a corpse. Extra nice. Failed my test for the second time. Oh, my condolences. You got to be pissed off. Leans back and watches in a gloomy mode. I like how this was like horror and then it went Dwemer. Is it going to try and put Dwemer and horror together? Presumably it is. We'll see how this goes. Okay, nice. Already liking this touch. Ripex. Okay, so catch up with... Do we have any trolls in here? No! We don't. We don't have any trolls. Which is a good thing. Because obviously, you know, you remember that guy from last time. Or he may have been more than one. Second one. What's the name of this mod? The name of the mod is in the title of the stream, which is Waking Nightmare. And that's not actually the full title of the mod, but I didn't want to make the stream title too long. So I think the full title of the mod is Challenge of the Daedra Waking Nightmare 2. I think that's the full title. But what we're doing is we're counting down from 20 to 1 a list of what are generally considered the best dungeon mods. And I'm doing this from a list of something I took from fandom.com, and I'm putting one of my own 1 or 2 at the end in, and then I'm going to make a top 5. It's just for fun, just for a laugh. I'm going to make a top 5, and then I'll make a sort of presentation, stream, and video about that top 5 at the end. But as I say, it's just a bit of a laugh. But I think you know, with the work that Hammett's done, and also to an extent with some of the work that you've done yourself, Ripex, which also incorporates some of Hammett's work, the bar was set really high from the start. Like Hammett's stuff, the bar is like well high up. So we're going to be using that kind of like as a yardstick, and I think that, and so this is going to be a kind of constructively critical kind of look at some of these mods, and I don't know if that's a controversial thing to do, because a lot of the time people just play mods and things and say, yeah, that's all ace and stuff, but I am going to give some kind of critique on them. But so far, I've liked this one so far. It's gone a bit fucking hell. What the fuck was that? Something fucking just one-shotted her. Okay, that was unexpected. Oh, so this Decaying Flesh Walker has got these really like heavy ballistas. I think it's a great idea. I hate it when people on Nexus say, I love this mod, I hate this mod, but they never tell you what they liked about it or what they didn't like about it. So when you do your next mod, you really don't know what angle to go from. I think part of the problem is that people don't really know how to give criticism. And when I say criticism, I mean, you know, in a constructive sense. And I found this out a lot when I was, when I used to interview musicians. I mean, I still interview musicians, but not so much currently as I used to, because I used to do it a lot at festivals and stuff, and there aren't many of those. But Except, hey man, fuck all these books, learn how to make quest marks. You must have heard that, right? I actually enjoyed that. I enjoyed that about Gemstone Prophecy. I thought that was quite a good way of doing it. There was no point which I thought I want to be like spoon-fed quest markers. That never came to my mind. I enjoyed reading those books. But yeah, I mean, what I found was that people didn't really know how to say to a musician, I like this performance, or I didn't know, like to their face. And that little path and the lights made them look a bit American McGee's Alice. It does actually, doesn't it? That's true. Good game, that. Definitely with a sort of... I'd totally forgotten about it, but it's the only game that I've actually played or been party to the playthrough of like 3 times or more. Yeah. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, like, so people would go up to gigs after the, to musicians after gigs, and they'd go, "Ooh, that was great." And I remember one of my ex-girlfriends, who's a singer, saying, when people go up to me at the end of a gig and say, "Ooh, that was fantastic," I don't find it very useful. But the problem is that people don't really know what to say, or how to give constructive criticism. So that will be my I will attempt to do something like that. For Jesus fucking Christ. What the hell? Wow. Had to go to the shop for a bit. That's cool, Nick. And also, whoa, upskirt. That was like, this guy's not dead. Yeah, that was some upskirt, wasn't it? Instead of critiquing what you have, they will suggest something that's not even in there. Like, man, I like your mod. I wish you could have some freaking lesbian vampires. I mean, nothing wrong with lesbian vampires, but there has to be some kind of, like... You can't just put them in there for the hell of it. I mean... Just because some people... just because you like minced beef, and I like minced beef, but I also like tuna fish sandwiches, But I'm not going to start putting beef in my tuna fish sandwiches, am I? This kind of looks like that bit in Max Payne. Yeah, I'm a little bit... What the hell is minced beef? What do you call that in America? God, fuck. I don't know what you call minced beef in America. Ground beef? Shit, let me look this up. It's not quite ground beef. Maybe you do call it ground beef. Yeah. Ground beef. Ground beef. That's what you call it. Very, very, very good. Mod started quite mediocre, but now I'm really enjoying it. What are you enjoying about it, Pellock? That's what we make hamburgers out of. Minced beef, what you guys make hamburger. Is it finely chopped up diced beef? No, it's minced beef. Same thing, ground beef. Like for instance, Ripex, if you were going to make like a chili con carne or a spaghetti bolognese or something, or lasagna, you'd use ground beef, wouldn't you, for that? I had a fun time trying to explain to Weeps what American biscuits are. What, like cookies? I need to work out what the fuck happened there. The otherworldly atmosphere. Yeah, he's done this kind of... Well, he's done a Daedric Dwemer section, is what he's done. Gotcha. Sorry, silly Americans, we have some instances where we just use different words for some reason, like chips and crackers and crap. Well, that's fair enough. There's no reason why you'd know that necessarily. I mean, I get confused with American terminology, It's just because I don't have any experience of it, so, it's okay. We've discovered our biscuits closely resemble scones. Do they? Do they really? Biscuits are similar to scones? I'm actually really quite nervous because I don't know what the fuck happened then. Jesus Christ. Are those things automated? I don't know. We get scones in the office. They look like pastry collection and the biscuits we think of. Southern biscuits. Southern biscuits? I may have to read the guide here to see what the fuck is going on. Waking Nightmare Guide. I always wanted to eat the American things: grits, sweet potato pie, and boxed mac and cheese. Oh, Nick sent me a recipe, didn't you, Nick, for mac and cheese? And I'm gonna make it. Oh my god, I could make it really soon. Should I make it this week? Shall I make it this? I don't know if I got time to make it this week. It's gonna be such a fucking busy week. I don't know if I have time. Maybe next week. Where are we? The pit depths, which is where we are now. No, it's not. It was the Dwemer Abyss. It isn't hard to navigate the abyss, but what you should know are the trap locations. Use the map. Oh, this is what the map is for. Throughout the abyss, you will find many types of creatures, including Blood Troll and Dwemer Torture Centurion. Right. Right. Okay. Where's the map? It was down as a clutter item. Here we go. Oh my fuck. I hate freaking sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a person. You don't like sweet potatoes? Love sweet potatoes. Get your wife to cook. Holy crap, it's a book. Yeah, it's a fucking book. It's like, no way I'm going to read that one out on stream. It's a long one. It's a pretty verbose guide. Absolutely. Let's use busy word taking care of it. Now I want sweet potatoes. Okay, so this map. Hang on. Fucking thing. I want it to be straight. Okay, here we go. So this map has got high targets and low targets. Where exactly do we start? Do we start down the bottom? Or are we starting at the top? I think we're starting at the top. Fuck me, this is complicated. I think we're starting at the top. And what I'm going to do... What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this. God. Okay. So this is where we begin. And we can't go any further than... Oh, we don't need to take a screenshot. Oh, so there's a certain route we can take. There's a certain route we can take, I think. I can't believe it would be the other way around, surely. Any advice is appreciated. So we got a straight... Oh no, it's here. I think we start on the left. I think we come out on the left. Because this is to our right. Yeah, we start... This is where we are. And there's a trap here. So, presumably we want to go... Hey, Scoop! Scoopy is here. Nice to see you, Scoop. I was well jealous of your lasagna the other night. Well jealous. you're gonna have to teach me. I'm on a mission, on a mission to get like the finest lasagna. Absolutely. Because that looked just fucking incredible. What kind of cheese were you using? I used cheddar and mozzarella in mine. I'm just gonna have to do an experiment. This red circle, presumably we avoid this red circle. Okay, let's just do an experiment. This is a trap location. If we turn the corner here... Yeah. Okay, that's completely correct. So... we have to avoid that segment. Yeah, Scoop, you found us in a particularly tricky part of this mod, and I'm just trying to get my head around it. I had Parmesan... Parmaggio, but topped with some generic Ouija cheese. So we just dropped down, right? Okay. So we dropped down, we're now here. Fucking hell, man. So we've dropped down here. And once we go round to this section, hang on. God, we're gonna have to. This is fucking tough stuff. I wish there's a way where we could just go through it. But yeah, Parmesan. Oh, maybe it was Parmesan. Maybe I put Parmesan in mine. I can't remember now. I thought it was cheddar and mozzarella, but maybe it was Parmesan. Maybe it was all three. Maybe I put all three in. But the what I was impressed with your one was the fact that it was all really kind of... It just looked like it just sat together beautifully, you know. And did you make the white sauce yourself? This may be a matter of just... Whoa. Going that. So how do we avoid these traps then? I'm definitely not wanting to get into politics, but being here in America, I was wondering how the COVID situation is over there across the pond. Are the Spice Girls still okay? Did something happen to the Spice Girls? You're clever if you made the bechamel sauce yourself. Very clever. I want to make sure they're okay. I want to make sure they didn't get COVID. I love them. Really? I didn't know. How is the COVID situation over there? It's getting worse. Is how it is. It's getting worse. It was kind of... But we expected this, you know. We expected this to happen when the weather starts to cool down. So it's no surprise to me at all that it's deteriorated. I mean, it's not deteriorated a lot, but it's deteriorated a little bit, and cases are starting to go up. And in the NHS, we're expecting cases to go up for the autumn and winter. Absolutely. I mean, we've got the vaccines, but you know, the vaccines. You know, it's all political regarding the vaccines. But it won't be as bad as last year. It won't be as bad as last year. Are they blaming investigated people for the rise over there? What do you mean investigated people? Oh, you mean unvaccinated? Well, look, you know, certain people are always going to blame other certain people. You know, you're always going to get that. And it also depends by who you mean when you say they. You know, who are they blaming? Do you mean, are people blaming unvaccinated people? Well, yes, some people are blaming unvaccinated people. But the rise in cases, you know, it was predicted to happen, like as a seasonal thing, and also all kinds of reasons. You know, also the fact that people are mingling more, there are more places open, people got, you know, locked down They got tired of the whole lockdown thing. All kinds of reasons. But it won't be as bad as last time. It won't be as bad as last time. I'm not... Sadly, it's become 100% political here. I think that's just caused more people to have issues. Alright, guys, back to the mod. I try not to pay much attention to it. And I don't tend to get into discussions about... you know, pro or anti-vaccine, really. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice. And if you decide to do it, fine. If you decide to do it, also fine. But, you know, just be aware of, you know, how that could potentially put you in a different situation to someone who's being vaccinated. But a lot of, you know, it's a choice thing at the end of the day. It's up to the individual. Gotcha. Oh, trivial fact. I'll give you a trivial fact. And it's definitely not going to be worth 750. It's never worth 750. Right? Scoop is way better cook than I am. Way better cook than I am. And he makes a mean lasagna by the looks of things. However, I don't know what his spaghetti bolognese is like. And something which is a trivial fact about me is that I love to make chili con carne. Love making chili con carne, but I haven't made it for a while. And the last thing that I cooked was a fish pie. I think that's the last thing I cooked. And it was pretty good. Worth every point. You're very kind. Well, it is called trivial fact, you know. It's not called fascinating fact, you know, because then we could get ourselves into hot water. You're a king chili con carne manufacturer. Well, I don't know, Scoop. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, because, you know, it's obvious out of the two of us who's going to be cooking chili con carne next time. And it ain't going to be me, by the looks of things. So we'll be able to make a comparison. And with regard to you know, I've adjusted your recipe a bit. Oh, I thought you would do. I thought you would. I even hoped you would, so you can give it the Ouija way. Well, not the Ouija way necessarily, but the MG way. But with regards to the next experience of the chili kitchen, I will inform you very soon about when that's going to be, but probably autumn, or probably autumn, maybe. I'll let you know. But it's been a while, because the last time I was over there was January 2020, just when COVID was started making all the papers. You're very kind, Scoop. You're very, very kind, and it's always valued and appreciated. Thank you very much, and enjoyed as well. Oh, for fuck's sake! Is it Tuesday on Tuesday? Yeah, it is. It is, because on Tuesday I was going to make it Tuna Tuesday. Yeah, sorry, a bit naff. But I was going to try and go for the Guinness and tuna thing on stream. I won't eat any tuna on stream, though. Nobody wants that. I don't think it's Tuesday. Is it not? Maybe it's happening on Friday. Okay, so there's a ballista there. Do we just have to drop down? Oh. Do you do Twitch streams of cooking? I don't know how I would do that. I considered it briefly. Not this Tuesday. Oh, is it next Tuesday? Next Tuesday's Tuesday, right? Do you do Twitch streams of cooking? Like I said, I don't know how I would do that. These traps are all... some of these traps are overhead traps, and some of these traps are multi-high-powered ballistas. Oh look, that's a dead end anyway. So let's get some ebony flesh on her at least. Wow. Okay, this hits from the other side. Maybe if we do ebony flesh enough, we can do it. Can we drop down here? I really want to get past this section. My next criticism of this mod is that... Oh, did you see that? Fucking hell. I'm going to save right here. My next criticism of this mod is that I'm not really enjoying this section because I can't be fucked to consult a map every time I go on a little bit. Sear that tuna, make niçoise, serve with mild red wine. Yeah, so, Scoop, are you going to be up for some Guinness on Tuesday night on stream? Ooh. Are you going to be up for that? Oh, I'm being handed a glass of red wine. This is awesome. Well, thank you very much, darling. That's great. With a nice glass as well. Let's have a look. It's a present. Oh yeah, the glasses were presents. It's a nice glass, that actually. But yeah, are you up for some Guinnesses on stream on Tuesday, Scoop? Right, so or anybody who wants to get some Guinness and drink it. Might make Tuesday, not sure yet, but Guinness and tuna sounds nice. Okay. I think it's just going to end up being a kind of stream tradition at this point. Okay, we've got ebony flesh. God, I fucking hate this part. Fucking hell. That's too high powered. Just as where we saved. What if we just fucking run? Okay. That doesn't work either. Seared tuna niçoise and red wine. Seared tuna niçoise. That sounds nice. This is a Shiraz, but I'm gonna let it breathe just for a few minutes before I have any of that. Yeah, that was my wife, Paddock. Right, so that trap is there. And we ran down in that direction. Let's just go down here. Woohoo! I'm not actually sure. This is the thing. I find this particularly disorientating. And it's things like this. I'm going to be totally honest. It's things like this that really dampen my enthusiasm for continuing with a mod like this, because I kind of liked the bit beforehand, but this is a bit like ugh. But I'll save here, and we'll try and continue, and we'll see where we get to. Now there are more traps there. Wow, that was an impressive one, that one. But we may be actually able to avoid that. Like if we... because that came from a certain direction. It came from behind, like there. Look, you can see it goes on the left-hand path. I suppose they do come in handy, handing you your tip, etc. That's true. So I'm gonna just keep... you see, that misses her. Like that. And that... let me just get rid of this guy. Flesh ghost. So you don't have to avoid the squares altogether. You can just sort of avoid that bit. Have you been getting into Twitch a bit more since these streams, Scoop? I bet you have. Okay. It's got to the point. It's got to the point where I'm not actually kind of focusing on the map at all, or which direction. I think we're just going to go from here to there, and that kind of feels right to me. And so I expect to die a few more times. Wow, that was tough. That was really fucking tough. Not recently. I've been too busy digging holes in my drive and power washing the roof. Well, what's... Oh, you had problems with your roof, didn't you? Your roof decided that it couldn't be bothered anymore. Isn't that what happened? Well, at least I've got an idea of what direction we need to go in. Which is obviously over there. Blood troll. I don't think this blood troll is going to cause us too many problems. And these fire traps aren't very problematic either. Replacing roof and front balcony? Sounds expensive. Fucking does sound expensive. You're replacing the roof and the front balcony. Fucking hell. God. I can't say I'm envious of that. How come you're replacing the front? It is expensive. That's big work. I mean, you know, you don't need me to tell you that, obviously. But why did you have to replace the balcony? Cool. Now, I imagine that from here on, there's going to be something else which is going to happen that we're not going to like. So, I'm just going to be careful. It was getting a bit dangerous. Oh, really? Was it? Should we just save again there? What was... What? Oh, wow. Where did that come from? I think that came from behind her. I think that came from behind her, I think. But I'm going to hang out... Oh, no, it came from the side. Did you see it? It came from, like, the right-hand side. Okay. So there was I when this mod started thinking... Because he says in the book... It's that ballista there, I think. He says in the book, you're going to die at least once. And I thought, nah. I didn't think it was going to be like this. Can we survive it with ebony flesh? Yes, we can. Okay. Let me take a sip of this wine. Not the big bit, the narrow bit in front of the living room window. Oh shit, hold on. I was just thinking about your balcony and then I wasn't paying attention to the fact that there was a dwarven torture centurion ahead of me. Oh, he's nearly dead anyway. Anything nice? Why can't we fucking loot? I mean, some things we can loot, some things we can't. The narrow bit in front... Do you mean the bit on the left? Rather than the bit on the right? Is that the bit you mean? Okay, so... I mean, thank fuck that bit was over. I didn't enjoy that bit. And that was just like trial and error. Really. So to celebrate the fact that we got through the unenjoyable bit, I'm gonna have some wine. See what I think of this Shiraz. It smells quite good. Mmm. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. I've never seen anyone else drink wine on a Twitch stream before. I'm sure it happens a lot, I just haven't seen it. Okay. Let's go. I'm so pleased we're out of that bit. That bit was not fun at all. Halls of Contempt. Is alcohol allowed on Twitch? Yeah, as far as I'm aware it is. I mean, it depends. It's like... it depends if your stream's mature or not. If this wasn't a mature stream, then maybe not. It's only grape juice, to be honest. Here we go. Is alcohol... I'm going to Google this. Is alcohol allowed on Twitch? I'm sure it is. Twitch rules... This is hilarious. Twitch rules for drinking on stream in 2021. Can you drink alcohol on Twitch? Yes, you can drink alcohol on Twitch. However, Twitch specifically states that a dangerous consumption of alcohol is against their terms. Okay, so it's like you can drink on Twitch, but you can't like get completely ratted on Twitch, basically. Yep, that's fine. We wait for off stream. Yes, I have my guilty pleasures. So we came. Hang on, I'm not gonna. Has she got a torch? Has she got a torch? Yes, she has. So. Well, I think Silent Hill has got so much to answer for. I'm not saying that this is like major Silent Hill, but it does have that feeling a lot. What is that? Headless Blood Witch. I think this is definitely a horror mod. This is not just a fantasy mod. This is definitely a horror mod. This is very Trine. Really? Do you not think it's a lot darker than Trine? Oh, the fire shooting out the wall. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, true. Is that going to deactivate it? Oh, no, it activates it. Fuck. Unlock door expert. So many of these little conjure headless blood raven. Oh god, well that started something. I mean, a lot of his enemies are not really very high leveled, but that's kind of okay because I think he said that this mod was supposed to be for level 20 and above. Fucking hell. And so that would be fine. Where's Ebony Flesh gone? Just gonna hug the left-hand wall here. And there are a lot of things coming up here. Werewolf Slaughterer. Yeah, how... Can you stop? Thank you. I think these... I have to say, I find these Headless Blood Witches to be a little bit creepy. And that's totally understandable. I think this ballista is beyond range now, so I'm not really worried about it. Oh, there's some kind of maze. I'm not really sure about the Draugr words being used by the other creatures, but so be it. This is like some little... I'm going to save again. He's made some little labyrinth here. Okay. I'm wondering if we're getting to the point where we're reaching kind of the end of the dungeon. I wouldn't even call this a dungeon necessarily. It's like something a bit deeper than that. It's like a realm. But you know, there's generally always crossovers between the two. Oh, that's quite useful as well. I'm just very shortly. I'm just gonna check where we are in the book. Okay, and these... Okay, well... okay, these just operate the ballistas. Okay. So... that key will... Ah! It's gotta be this guy! Absolutely has to be this guy. Dwarven Behemoth. Let's see how hard he is. This guy's a big fucker. Shit! There was I complaining about the lack of big bosses. He doesn't have that much health though. He's not going to be particularly hard to defeat, I think. Though he makes her magicka run out pretty quickly, so maybe I shouldn't be too complacent. Come on, We just want a key. That's all we want. He's either got to have it, or he's got to be guarding something that has it. Halls of Contempt treasury key. Which is presumably this. Okay. I'm just going to check to see if he's got anything behind him. But I don't think he does. We're kind of beyond the point where we need like lots of special gear in particular. Okay, well, it's pretty nice, but not that necessary. Right, we're going to have to consult the guide. So fucking... Oh, no, it's not even that one. It's so big. I mean, this is the thing. This is the one thing about having a guide like this, is that you have to flick through it a lot to get anywhere. Like, once you're farther into it. The pit depths. No, we're further than that. Dwemer Abyss, the halls of contempt. Yeah, well, we didn't want to use the ballistas. Once you've taken care of the Centurions and the followers, you can choose to fight the Behemoth, which we did. When you kill a Behemoth, be shot of keep. Yeah, we've done that. Yeah. Also, to progress, you need to use 3 activators. 1 behind the Behemoth. Oh, okay. And 2 in the trap-rigged halls to the left of the ballista tower. 1 can be found if you kept left, the other at the opposite end. Once you activate the levers, you'll wake up the flesh walkers, but the great thing about this area is you can charge on and use the blade traps to kill them. Okay. If you travel from the first lever straight forward, okay. Right, so we need to do this to open that gate. So there is an activator here somewhere. Oh, here it is. And there are another 2 up here somewhere, I think. Ah. Or maybe over here in this direction. Fucking hell. That was good. I'm impressed with that. That was a good job, spinny trap thingy. Okay. Speed. Those are really, really, really horrid, those traps. One of the things that I found unsurprising... Oh shit, there's another one! I think this is what he was saying about just letting the traps do the work. Which they... Which they definitely do. Okay. So this takes you through to like a Dwemer version of the shack. Which is kind of cool. I like this kind of industrial sort of like rustic industrial way of doing things. But we can't go through this door. So we're just going to traverse this a bit, but we're going to have to be like very, very, very careful. I just sort of stick to the sides the whole time. And yeah, again, as he was saying, that's a fucking nice weapon. Can I have that? I don't even want to use it. 11,000. It looks shitty in the inventory though. So obviously that's a problem for me, that it looks shitty in the inventory. We're just trying to get back through to where the main section is. Black and Blue 95. Thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Very much appreciated. How are you tonight? You okay? That's a cool name, by the way. Right. We had a moment of disorientation. And plus, as well as that, I think that we have to kill this guy again. But I'm going to see if we can paralyze him. Because that would make things a lot more fun. Oh, he resisted it. Fucker. But it's just good that he's not too powerful. He's probably powerful in the kind of damage that he can do, but he's not powerful with regards to the amount of health that he's got. Because it's a relatively demure amount. Black and Blue's my second account. Oh, is it Fet? You got more than one account? For what purpose? Wow, he did a fucking pirouette. I've got about 5? Really? Why have more than one account? Well, I mean, having said that, I've got more than one account. I've got a second account, but it's a test account. So, like, if I want to see how videos look, then I will stream them through the other account and just look at the recordings. But there's no... Well done, sir. John! How are you doing? Yeah. Deemed 2-minute break. Oh, fuck. Did he? Alright. Alright, John. Actually, I'll do... let's get rid of this... Let's get rid of this guy, because he was... threatening to do something unsavory to her from behind. So, not now. After the dungeon. Oh, after the dungeon. It's going to be more than a 2-minute break after the dungeon. Definitely. Time to go pee or whatever you guys call it over there. Okay. We say, yeah, pee. What? Take a piss. Go to the toilet. Take a waz. I don't know. Okay. He's built it up. Yeah, exactly. He's built it up quite a bit, so I don't know if we... This was for the ballista, right? Yeah, that was for the ballista. But, God, I really... Urination, proclamation. Time to let some weird white-yellow liquid out of my cock. You know, if that works for you. That's fine. Preferably white rather than yellow. So I hear. It's better that way. Okay, let's go up the staircase again. I think we've dispensed with most of them. These are all just ballistas, though. That's all those are. Okay. This is yet another one. What I'd love is if it's supposed to be white. Too much yellow means you're dehydrated. Yeah, it's supposed to be white. I wonder why yellow though. What the biological reason for that is. Right. So it looks like we've done everything that we have to do with regards to killing things. But there's this little section over here. But it should be clear if you're hydrate. If it's actually white, I think you just have really liquidy sperms. World of Ripex redeemed hydrate. Well, when we say hydrate, it's just water. Wine or beer doesn't count as hydration on this stream. Ripex, I was gonna say something about your maidens. Because is it possible? Can I get like a follower mod? Woohoo! Careful. Can I get a follower mod where they look like they do in Gemestone Prophecy 1? Oh look, here's another one. Because I tried the Gemestone Prophecy. Sorry. Hold on a sec. I tried the standalone follower mod. I'm really hoping this activates that grilly sectiony thingy. And they didn't look like they did in Gemestone Prophecy 1. They looked slightly different. I have to be very careful here. Very, very careful. Okay, I think one more of those grates has opened now. There were like multiple grates. Well, I'll tell you this. Remember... Hang on, let me get a bit further. And this is the shack. I have to read up about what the point of this shack is. Okay. Remember there are two ESPs? Yes. Well, the one that says Gemstones Maiden Standalone will just be the 4 girls. However, the ESP is altered highly for Gemstone Prophecy 3. So when you play Gemstone Prophecy 3, it will override it. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, they look kind of different to how they did in the standalone. They look kind of different to how they did in the Gemstone Prophecy one. Oh really? If you want the girls, just don't check the Gemstone Prophecy SP. But do they? But do they look the same, or is that me? Am I doing something wrong? I might be doing something wrong, I think. Because when I went to find them and they were in all together in the Blue Palace in Solitude, like they looked physically different. So were they using a different skin in the standalone to what they were in Gemstone Prophecy 1? We're going to have to get all the way through this bit. The Pit Depths, Dwemer Abyss, Halls of Contempt. Right. One behind the Bethphus and two in the trap-rigged halls. Right, I've done that. One can be found if you keep left, the other opposite. When you activate the levers, you wake up the Fleshwalkers, which is true. If you travel from the first lever straight forward, you'll notice a large centurion left. If you get past it, you'll see a shack crammed. Enter to find yourself in... Yes. In front of the display, you'll see the body of Gomlin, and the once open chest is locked. Open it to get his bloodied armor. When you've triggered all three activators, you can go down the shaft. Before you go, check you have everything. You might not. I'm pretty sure the skin for Gemstone Prophecy 2 and were made by Massive Master, but Gemstone 1 might be the only one that uses Baby Doll. I think that's what I'm talking about. It was the Baby Doll X one that I liked. That was a good skin. So, as far as I'm aware, we've done all we need to do with regard to activators. But currently, at this point, I'm finding this mod a little too involved in certain ways. It depends how you look at it. If you look at it as a dungeon mod, then I find it just too involved. If you look at it as a separate realm, then it's fairer, I think. However, I'm looking at it as from the perspective of being a dungeon mod, which is how it was described in the fandom article, and so in that way, it's a little too much. We pulled all of these. This is definitely a mod that does not need 35 books. It is super awesome, but it's super complex. So Ripex, what are you thinking about this mod? What are your thoughts on it? I know that Pelek likes it. I'm in two minds. I like certain things about it, and there are certain things that I don't like about it. This bit, particularly at the moment, I don't find enjoyable very much. Attempting to multitask watching and playing ESO. Well, I'm glad you are, Nick. I'm kind of envious. Until I get to play ESO myself. But, whoops. But like this part in particular, where we have to find like the final part, trying to find a place to mine ore. You still got Dilgra, right? Is this like... actually Dilgra or a parallel universe Dilgra or Dilgra in her dreams, or what is it? I'm not a super fan of horror mods, but I like this. I like the atmosphere. It definitely conveys that feeling. I love things that jump out. And I like twists, and I like walking into situations where I look around and how the heck did this all happen? It's very intriguing. Parallel, I think, although dream mode sounds kind of cool. I had the same... I'll address your comment in 1 second, Ripex, but I had a similar idea with a character called Niva. And Niva was supposed to be like a psychological alter ego of Zell, who... It was like Zell sort of fantasizing about different ways that she could have existed in Skyrim, and that was what Niva was. But it didn't really sort of work for me. I didn't play her very much, that character, Niva. I think she got to level like 3 or 4. But that's one way of doing it. Walking situations where I look around and how the hell does this happen? It's very intriguing. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you, a main and boss character I named after you, after me, in my new boss that I'm working on. Ripex, that's really fucking cool. That's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. That's great. So you're doing a new mod. That's awesome. Is this like, what kind of a mod is it? Is this like a standalone mod? Is this like a dungeon mod? Is it linked to Gemstone Prophecy or not? What is it? Tell us. Could be stories of the second era and she's putting herself into stories. Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's what Niva was. So you could sort of spin it that way. Like Dilgra in Skyrim, the game, could be the original, the main one. And there's like psychological alter egos. After Hammett, and we were like, why do we name them after a little dude? So I just said, we'll just name a boss after him. Oh, Ripex, that sounds really very, very cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That's gonna be really cool. It's actually a second series. It's based. Sorry, I'll start again. It's based in the Gemstone universe, but it's not directly involving maidens. Okay. It's called Canola, the Ruthless, and the Path to Vengeance. Nice title, by the way. I'm working on part 2 now. Sorry, I've moved on to Special Edition, so none of it will end up being on Legendary. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah. Dude, this is cool watching, listening to you play Skyrim and playing it. So, well, I've kind of hit a point where I'm slightly stuck currently. Because that means I have to refer to the guide again. And that's the thing. This is like, it's too guide-y, this. And as well as that, that doesn't make for a particularly good stream. If I'm just running around a lot trying to find out where the next button is. I know it's all part of the game. But, you know, I'm like a Microsoft user in as much as I want things to be more obvious and sorted out for me. We've already activated all of these. Yeah, so I mean, if it's gonna be in Legendary Edition, we won't be able to stream it, unfortunately. But that's cool because maybe somebody like Nick could take up the mantle for the Special Edition side, and I could watch that stream because Nick uses Special Edition. I think that Nat also uses Special Edition, but Nat is like way busy at the moment with all her wedding stuff. But that might be like over by the end of October. I think her wedding's in like the middle of October. I think it's getting to the point where she's trying to just jam in now as much stuff as she can, in case there's like more lockdowns and shit. Bro, I have an Acer laptop that's nothing special. It runs Special Edition. Are you sure you can't run it? I'm actually not sure I can run it because I took my guide from gamerequirements.com or gamesystemrequirements.com, And that said that I'd get a pretty shitty frame rate out of it. And I can stream perfectly well and run Legendary Edition. And like, for instance, okay, streaming currently, running Legendary Edition, CPU is at 70%, 64%, 68%, you know, and so it's fine. And I think that I'd be putting more stress on it if I were to. This is an old CPU. It came out in 2012. The whole system is like 2012. So I'm not sure that it would very well anyway. Definitely, you know, is it streamable? I'm not sure. He's a Linux user. Oh yeah, I'm also a Linux user. But that shouldn't make any difference to whether Special Edition could be used or not. I'm starting to redo the original Masons in high poly, so Ruby is done, but I have to create her. Yeah, I did have a bit of a thing for Sapphire and Amethyst. Probably Sapphire more than Amethyst, even though Amethyst did look a lot like Ariana Grande. Look, I'm going to have to read this again. I really don't want to. And this is where this is falling over for me, this mod. This constant referral to a book. Plus the fact that you have to flick quite far into the book by this point. He hasn't split it up by sections or cells. So here we have to go quite far. You see, we're still flicking forward into it. Halls of Contempt. Well, after this came out, 2015, I don't even know if Ariana was a thing then. I don't. Well, she definitely was, because she was getting really big in 2015. She was getting really big then. And I think Dangerous Woman, which is arguably her best album, was released in 2016, I think. Dangerous Woman was 2016. Can't believe we're talking about Ariana Grande. But the album before that... God, I can't remember what the album before that was. But she like... I think she hit the big time with the album before that one. But I can't remember what it's called now. I can't remember what it's called. Plus, Ariana wouldn't last 5 minutes in one of them dungeons. She wouldn't last... No. Of course she wouldn't. Absolutely not. She's made for singing and looking pretty. She's not made for, like, fighting. I can't get over the tails in ASO almost as long as my whole body. Is this working for you? I think this is working for you. I'm pleased. I didn't even hear about her until she got engaged to Lips Davidson. I heard of her a while ago, but I didn't actually start liking her work till... I can't remember when. I started getting into her like a couple of years ago. Mostly it was the album... Oh god, now I do have to look it up. Was it Sweetener? It was Sweetener. That was the album that I started listening to her on. Yeah, it was Sweetener. The album after it, Thank You Next, is a bit shitty. But Sweetener and Dangerous Woman are definitely... They're just very good pop albums, and she's a very good singer. Got to drop out, Andros. Have fun. Thanks, Scoop. Thank you very much for being here. Really enjoyed it. I hope to see you on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll be streaming both Tuesday and Wednesday night, so hope to see you in one of those or both of those. Or none of those another time, but at least one of them, I hope. Have a good evening, and thank you for being here as always. With my luck, Disney would see those mods and want to make Gemstone into a movie series. Take care, Scoop. Catch you later. Have a good evening. See you in Discord, I hope. With see those mods and want to make Gemstone into a movie. You'd probably pick Ariana to be Amethyst and just ruin everything. Yeah, I don't think she can do the badass girl thing very well. I don't think she'd be able to do that. I had a dumb moment on stream this morning with ESO. What happened, Nick? Okay, this is the bit where I keep falling down. Now here's the opportunity to make your... Use the ballista turrets by sneaking while keeping to the left wall. Then up the stairs to... Well, we've done that. This route is worth doing even if you choose one, because it leads to the next unique tome. Keep dead right around the large Dwemer shelf to the wooden boxes. Then climb onto the shelf. From them onto the shelf. Then again with the next slot onto the cage. Oh, I see. You have to walk on top of the cages. Go across and see wooden planks which you cross. At the end, jump on the arch, then the other cage. From here, watch your step. Jump on over the pistons of the platform. If you aim right, you can jump here across, blah, blah, blah. If you go straight on, there's a chest. Continue. Okay. The problem is that my attention is really kind of diminishing. Like, there's so many directions and things. This is like one of the things that I really value about, like, Hammett's dungeons. Like, everything is straightforward. Like, to have to continually skip forward to, you know, reading what trajectory I should take is, you know, it's not particularly enjoyable. There are some people who may like this kind of thing, but I don't like it that much. I almost said, why are there so many dark elves here? Then I realised there's more. Oh well, there you go. So you got me on one monitor and ESO on the other monitor, Nick? Yeah. Okay. So I think what we need to do is we need to go around the... Oh look, there's this pipe. I think this pipe is like kind of used as a walkway or something. Alright guys, I've got to split. I try to catch your stream in a couple of days at work. I'll see you around. Thank you very much, Ripex. Really good to have you. Thank you very much for dropping in and see you soon. Join the Discord! I keep reminding you to join the Discord. It'd be great if you could. It'd be good to see you in there. I'll get to it, I promise. Alright. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. See you soon, Ripex. Typing on my iPad, committed. You are committed. You're definitely committed. I think this is the way we do things. I think we just gotta... Like... Yeah, you can see he's made like a sort of walkway here. Out of the boxes. And then we have to get on top of the pipe here. So we have to... We use the pipe to navigate things. And this leads us onto another section. Up, whoa! Up here. Oh, that's irritating, isn't it? Once you're on this section, then this... I thought this was going to take us up. Oh, it does. You just have to be a bit more patient than I was being. It's all gone a bit Alice, hasn't it? Okay. Right, so this takes us into a higher section. And, oh god, we gotta... It's become a platform game. And it's like... I'm not sure what I think about that. This is annoying me. It's annoying me because if you drop down, you've got to go all the way around for this. So we have to go... Yeah, what happens if you do this? This is a good point. What happens if you fall down in the middle here? If you fall down into these boxes here, there's absolutely nothing you can do. In fact, you're almost... Spoiler alert, there's still fall damage in here, so... Oh, well, yeah. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. You can't even get out this little bit. The only thing you can do is reload. Look, if you're trapped in here, there's nothing you can do. So, I mean, I'm getting increasingly disillusioned with this mod. I really, you know, don't like this whole platformy thingy. But it definitely makes the decision about whether it reaches the top 5 any you know, easier for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back outside. Oh, this just takes us to this way again. I wonder if I should give these mods a kind of rating as well. But really, a lot of this will come down to, you know, what you expect or want from a mod. And, you know, I'm doing this as kind of like, as somebody who was looking for something kind of dungeony, but it's not just about whether something's dungeony or not. It's about, you know, just how much enjoyment you yield, you know, from a mod in general. I have to be very careful here not to drop down into the middle of the boxes. Oh yeah, here's the plank. The plank is here. And then you get up here and there. Let's go down around the other side. So this just takes you down. It's not any use going in this direction. And this is when it gets a bit platformy. Thank fuck ESO is gracious enough to have auto fish and auto mine. You'd actually need to have a pickaxe. Okay, well that's good. Because that was definitely a pain about mining, is having to go and get a fucking pickaxe. We want to get to this bit. Let me just save here. We have to jump across and get to this bit. I don't think we need to go that way for anything. Right, is this an activator? No, it's not actually an activator, it's just a ballista. And there's another platformy thingy here, which will take us up to this bit. And now what exactly? This is a pretty area, I'll give it that, but I forgot my pickaxe in Blackreach, where there are gem veins. Also, there are cats in the game. Oh, that's cool. Which is weird, seeing a bastard cat next to a Cadget. That is cool. I'm really hoping that taking that book off there activates the gate downstairs. I'm really hoping that that's what that does. Because I can't see that there's any further to go. Whoa. Wow. God, it doesn't. Bloody hell. Like the goofy Pluto phenomenon. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna give this one more chance. Because I'm kind of losing patience with the way the mod goes. So, and I'll write a mini review in the Discord after this. And even though we're not at the end of the mod, we're pretty fucking far into it. It says once you've triggered all 3 activators, well, where's the other activator? I remember 2 of them. So maybe up there that was just a tome. It's not something that we actually needed. To progress, you need 3 activators. 1 behind the Bethmos and 2 in the trap-rigged halls. 1 can be found if you keep left. The other at the opposite end. Once you activate the levers, you'll wake up the Fleshwalkers. Right. You know what my problem is? It's like what is the definition we are using of activator? Like behind the Behemoth here, there is 1 switch, right? Which is presumably the activator, right? But there were levers within the hall. See, this is still not open, this grate. Oh, it is. Okay. We made it. Perception level 100. Is that a thing? Perception. Are you talking about me? Because if you're being sarcastic, it makes total sense. You know what's kind of confusing is the fact that the levers, which he was describing as in Fallout. Oh, okay. The levers that he was describing as being activators didn't look the same. That's what confused me. And really, I think they should all look the same. Oh, wow. Here's a cool bit. Sanctuary. Well, if this is the Sanctuary, this has to be like pretty much the end of it, right? So the Sanctuary is supposed to be a Sanctuary. You're not supposed to have a relatively high-level mage coming in and fucking your shit up. So we should expect some resistance. So we need to... Oh, okay, this is just a cozy little enchantment room. Open shack. Oh, there's another shack. Wow. Okay, well this is interesting. I have to say this is interesting. I give him points here for creativity. This is quite clever, I have to say. Vermina Evoker. Oh, if you're not immune to shock magic, this is going to be a pain in the ass for you. I don't know how he did this, to be honest. There's like a little ladder here. Can we climb it? Open shack. I think this sort of takes us to a higher level or something. Yeah, it does. Okay, it's gone a bit platformy again. I think it's all about conjuring these other kinds of Daedra, which I haven't done. You'd think that so many shock mages would be actually immune to shock, but no. Oh, you get boss chest. Okay. So, I think I'm going to have to refer again to the literature to find out what to do next. Unless I can... Oh, look, there's a little table up there. I don't think you can go out the door next to that way. But I do think it's quite nice how he's done this. I think that's a nice, ingenious little take on things. What happened? I took over in a tiny... Yeah, exactly. I was just saying, I think this is quite an impressive part of the mod. Like, the shack has become this kind of macrocosmic realm. It is pretty cool, isn't it? I haven't seen something like this in Skyrim before. Like, I just wondered... Well, it's kind of... I didn't actually think of that association. And I should have done, Nick. I think that's a really good link, which I didn't make. But I mean, the association to Alice in Wonderland has been made several times in this mod, by yourself, by me, by Pellic Angel as well. 3 of us made those associations. Right, let's read to see what happens. Sanctuary of Vermina. In the back here, some containers. Okay. Now you're back in the shack, and it's enormous. It's a guided sneak right away. Well, I didn't do that. Look right to see a single sentry. Make your way over. You find 3 buttons. Corner table and trail of oil which leads up to him. Shoot an arrow. Make your 3 buttons which activate 3 turrets. On the table, 2 walkways which takes you on top of it. It looks empty, but on approach you awaken a ghost. Yes, we did that. You'll find a chest. You need to make your way through the camp. I remember the camp. And find the cave door to the corner to progress to the next section. I don't think it was here that he wanted us to go into. Look, this is the oil slick that he mentioned earlier. And on the table, is that where the cave door was? I think it was. Somewhere under the table there. Where is this other follower? Is they up there? Or where the bookcase is? Yeah, they are. Yeah, well that was the worst. Open wilderness. Fucking hell. Okay. It's gone a bit kind of Blair Witchy now. I have to say, it's like the creativity here is pretty high. I mean, there are parts of the mod which are definitely frustrating. Are you going to be playing Outlast on Friday? Have you decided what you're going to be doing for Halloween now, Nick? I'm going to be working through all these sort of dark fantasy horror mods. Actually, on Halloween itself, I think just going to be a month of scary games. Yeah, I'm just working through all these mods. I mean, Halloween's pretty much started as far as I'm concerned, but it's also due to the fact that it doesn't really stop. Not on this channel, it doesn't. It's all dark stuff here. And I tend to play quite a dark version of Skyrim. But yeah, I'm just going to be doing all these sort of like horror, like dark horror mods, and pick one of the best. The only difficulty for me is to find out what I'm going to be doing on Halloween itself. And I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. I feel that I should do a Hammett dungeon, but there's also one other dungeon that I would really like to do, which is a non-Hammett one. And I'm not going to wait till Halloween to do Blood Iron Veil. I'm going to do that as pretty much as soon as it's released. Can I open the Strongbox? I'm going to do some Outlast, maybe Phasmo. A lot of people are playing Phasmo recently, aren't they? Is it actually scary? Well, that was a waste of fucking time, wasn't it? I'm extremely picky when it comes to these dungeon mods. It's pretty scary, that, and it had a recent update making it scarier. Okay. I hope so. Because, oh, what does this do? Wow, this is an interesting section. Okay, this has gone like properly horror. I don't understand what he's done with the lighting. It looks to me like the lighting, that you're not supposed to use something like candlelight here. Because like he's done something with it to make it like darker or something. I presume that this is the section that we get the key from. Wargrave of Lost Souls. Those are nice, to be honest. Those weapons. Okay, well now we're going to have to use a torch because I can't fucking see anything. Currently, I am thinking of, with regards to where this mod ends up, in the rankings. I think I'm of giving it a 6. Because it's different in parts, it's creative. And he's put an awful lot of work into it. An awful lot of work into it. However, I find it 6 out of 10. Yeah. However, I find it quite frustrating in parts to play. It's not like a particularly smooth experience. So I mean, I would like give it points for ingenuity, and also creativity. Definitely, there's some nice environments here as well, but there are two things in particular which sort of brought it down for me, which was the traps section, which was just like unnecessarily frustrating, I felt, and also that sort of that Dwemer area, where it turned into like a platformer. Upper tower access key, that's what I wanted. So let's go back. Does this take us back up? Yeah, it does, I think. And the other thing is, it's like, and this is not a criticism of the mod at all, but more a comment on things. These blood trolls are quite difficult. But I'm trying to do like at least one per stream, and so we'll see how much longer we can do this for. This is a... I recognise this place. This is Helgen. This is Helgen. I like the flesh enemies and the blood trolls. Yeah, the enemies are kind of nice, but this is fucking Helgen. This is where you come when you start the game. If we continue this way, we're going to get into the courtyard area. This is the part where you're basically at the beginning of the game. And there's a lot of resistance up here. These shade mages are relatively tough. But I don't understand what he's done with the lighting. That's a bit odd. Oh, Lollipops. Lollipop is in the Discord. Hey, Lollipop, how are you? Well, I mean, you know, I suppose you can chat in the Discord, can't you? Nice to see you. I wish you were actually, you know, here, so to speak. But you know, having you in the Discord is good. It's not the same, but it's still good. Yeah, it's a funny stream, this one. It's a funny stream because you know, we're testing out these dungeon mods, and it's not really fair to call this a dungeon mod because it's not really a dungeon mod, so I don't want to kind of misrepresent it. It's not more than dungeon. It's not a dungeon mod. It's far more than that. It's like a sort of separate kind of realm thing. Fuck's sake! Look at this. That said, it's all about playability and how enjoyable it is to play something like this and stream it. But it's certainly different. I mean, what do you think about this mod Lollipop? What you've seen of it so far? Okay, I thought they were gonna draw some correlation between, like, I thought they're gonna draw some correlation between, like, Helgen and everything else, which they haven't done necessarily. Because that was Helgen, that part down there. And this is presumably like an ending part because we're just on some sort of catwalk of decaying flesh walkers. And we're back in the shack again. Here we are again. And who is this? Arkfed. Wow. That's a pretty cool trick. That is a cool trick. I like that. Unfortunately, you're fucking with the wrong girl, Arkfed. And this is why. How's this for a standoff? Arkved's key. And this takes you into the Quagmire, which is like another realm? Fucking hell. I think this was the part where he was saying it was going to get particularly hard, or if you had followers. I don't know how quickly we can do this part. Werewolf Slaughterer. I'm just gonna try and like just run it through here. I think just kind of we're just gonna try and run it. That's all we're gonna do. This is just linear, this bit. In fact, we can just pretty much avoid all of this lot, I think. They're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna prove to be that much of an issue. And look, there's another shack at the end with another boss, I think. Oh, this is Vermina. This is her. There she is. Let's see how we go. So this is our main. Maybe I should have got rid of some of these beforehand. They're just proving to be irritants currently. If we just get, they're just distractions. That's all they are. Dwemer Falconaz. Okay, where's she gone now? I lost her. And you can fuck off as well. Where is she? So what do I have to do to get rid of this girl? So she's a mage. And she's good with her wards. Sorry, I had to drop out. Getting Katie fixed up with some medicine. Oh, okay. Is she alright? I think it's now just going to be like a little kind of standoff between me and this girl, or Xin and this girl. Maybe allergies. Is she okay? Wow. Thanks for doing that just as we conjured the Master Destruction spell. If she fires something at her, which she's not doing, which is disappointing. Then it would help her absorb it. Alright, fine. Can we paralyze her? That would be so fucking funny. Oh, I think she resists paralyze. She doesn't put up a great fight. Ooh, the frame rate. Oh wow, was there a frame rate problem? It's very dark. It looks very dark on the stream. But that's the realm. That's like intentional, so to speak. Is she dead yet? She's not putting up much of a fight. I think she's given up. I can't say I blame her, to be honest. Come on, Vermina. You look nice in your magey get-up. Oh, all that lightning. Yeah. But it's over. I mean, Xin's running out of magicka, but anyway. Oh, she conjures restoration. She's not allowed to do that. Really pisses me off when they do that, when they conjure restoration at the last minute. It's kind of like what Vuldur did the other day. That really annoyed me. But if I keep, oh, she's down. If I keep firing at her, then oh god, she's going to run away. For fuck's sake, I thought you were some kind of Daedric goddess. It's a sad way to end. Sad position to end. Circle of Nightmares. Shock resistance by 70%. Well, we don't really need it. That's fine. It's a nice thing, though. So, I presume that this shack is like the last of it. Oh, yeah, we get into Skyrim. If we open the shack, and that's presumably it. And we end up outside. Femina's prize chest requires key, and we didn't get the key for it. That's quite funny. But we can't go back inside the shack. I don't think we can go back inside the shack. Oh, we can. Where does this take us? This is all set up very nicely in here. But I think that's a bit annoying that you require a key to get in the prize chest. Not that there's anything like particularly she was needing. Was trying to fast travel, and then a river troll was like, "Nah, fam." Whose fam made it over there? Is that expression made it over there? Or was it originally an American one? I thought it was like a British slang term. Okay, so this takes us outside, and in spite of all that, you know, Xin has hardly leveled up like one level, but that comes from her destruction being at 100. Search remains, more remains. Oh yeah, it's definitely funny. Definitely funny. Okay, and this is just some kind of totem or something. Okay, alright. So can't get into the prize chest, but doesn't matter that much. Like I say, it's not really anything that we'd be looking to use that much anyway inside it. So thoughts. Where are we? We're in Riften. Yeah, we're just between Riften and Winterhold. So okay, thoughts on this mod. On the positive side, I thought that it was definitely creative, and I liked the, like as we discussed, the kind of Alice-like ways it did things. I enjoyed. It was quite dark. Horror-esque parts I liked about that. It was also ingenious as well, and there were certain little touches in it which were very nice. It tried to do an awful lot of things. It was like a Daedric mod. It was like a Dwemer mod. It was kind of like sort of fantastical, otherworldly, out there, and that was fine. That all worked very well. The things which I didn't like so much were the trap part, which was very frustrating. That map was difficult to read, and it's not like I want to go back and forth and look at the map the whole time if I'm traversing an area. It's just as well that we were able to do that without kind of referring to it. We could feel our way around. Also, that sort of platformy bit was very, very frustrating as well. It's not a dungeon mod. It's like a different realm kind of mod. And it's a different realm mod. It does the job relatively nicely. For me, if I were going to rate it, I'd give it about a 6. A 6 out of 10. Maybe a 6.5. And would it make the final 5 mods in this 20 mod category series? No, it won't make the final 5, but it's a well thought out, well done mod. The mod has put a lot of work and a lot of thought into it. It's not something that you can replay, though that's not a criterion necessarily for being in the final 5. Just to be in the final 5, it's just got to be damn good at what it is, basically, and it has to have that sort of that undoubtable level of very high quality. So this was a good mod. It was good. And let's take a look at what the next one is going to be, which is going to be on Tuesday. So that said, everything changes if, like, Hammock comes up with a dungeon or something in the meantime. Okay, so the next one, which currently is going to be Tuesday, is the Temple of Kruzik. So this is another dungeon which has some lore in it. And it's about an old temple that was used by Nords to worship a legendary dragon who was named Kruzik. So this looks like a more sort of standard Nordic temple mod, which is going to work kind of well for Tuesday's stream. So that's about it. It was something of a different stream, different kind of mod, and the next one is going to be on Tuesday night. So we'll take Zin back to the college. And we'll await to see what's next. I'm glad that Ripex enjoyed Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday, rather than Tuesday. Tuesday. I don't actually know why I'm taking her back to the college, because we're just going to restart before this mod anyway. She is like currently stuck in the world of being level 56, and that may be the case for a while. She stays at level 56. We'll see. So that's about it. Thanks to everybody who came in the stream. Thanks to Nick. Thanks to John, who was in the stream earlier, who raided us. Thanks to Lollipop, who was checking it out somehow from her end, maybe on her phone or something, I don't know. Thanks to Scoop, who was here earlier. Thanks to Fett. Yeah, John likes raiding a lot. He likes raiding a lot. Good for him. Yeah, it's always fun to have John around, and he's doing well because he's revamping his channel, and hopefully that'll go nice for him, and I'll support him as much as I can. And thanks, anyone else who lurked and came on by, and maybe Fett has gone to bed early because he's ran out of Iron Brew, and I'm sure he'll be down the shop at a good time tomorrow to make sure he gets some more. So that's about it. Thank you very much, and we'll be back Tuesday at 7 PM UK time for the Temple of Kruzik, which looks to be a much more standard Nordic dungeon tomb in the way that we're used to. All right, thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you, Nick. Bye bye all, and see you in a couple of days. Okay, take care. Good night.